Greetings and salutations once again, my fellow YouTubers. The wild man from out of nowhere and out of space has landed in your precious planet once again. And what I'd like to express to all of you this time is a situation that's going on in a world I'm sure you're all familiar with and love like I do. And it evolves, in that world, of course, is the world of video games. Now, the situation in that world, the video game world, deals with actually a movie franchise. And I'm sure all you know there have been movies based on games and vice versa. But there's this movie franchise that I'm sure all of you are familiar with. A very classic, legendary movie franchise, which is, of course, Dirty Harry. Featuring one of the most legendary big screen toughies of them all, Clint Eastwood. Now, for some of you who are not familiar with Dirty Harry, Dirty Harry kind of is like one of the reasons why we love action movies today. Why, long before Rambo or James Bond, maybe after James Bond, but Dirty Harry was like one of the first original action hero characters, especially when a cop. Because usually in action movies, the hero is always plays a cop, but Dirty Harry kind of started that genre of the heroic cop who didn't play by the rules. Well, Dirty Harry kind of created a different kind of cop back in the time, because before Dirty Harry, there were always cops who played by the rules and had to go with the law, but Dirty Harry was different. He didn't play by the rules. He didn't play by the law. He played by himself. He was interested in justice instead of the law. Because the law wasn't good to civilians and Dirty Harry was against it. He wasn't interested in the law. He was interested in justice. Old-fashioned justice. And he did it his way. He played it so cool and badass. The Dirty Harry franchise kind of helped recreate the action genre. Like I said before, if it wasn't for Dirty Harry, we wouldn't have these heroes today, like John McClane in Die Hard, because he was a cop who didn't play by the rules. He was like a smart ass. Along with Lethal Weapon with Mel Gibson and Danny Glover. And of course, the character of Mel Gibson, Martin Riggs, was a renegade cop who was psychotic and suicidal, who didn't play by the rules, just like Dirty Harry. But most importantly, Dirty Harry was the influence for Death Wish with Charles Bronson, because it dealt with the same thing like Dirty Harry. It dealt with vigilantism, but what was more different than Dirty Harry, what made Death Wish different than Dirty Harry, was that the character wasn't a cop. He was a normal guy who was pushed to the edge when his family was attacked by criminals, and he decided to go out and do something about it by killing all of them. Because this was a situation back in the 70s. Both these two movies, Dirty Harry and Death Wish, dealt with a situation that was going on in the 70s, which was vigilantism, killing criminals. It was a huge thing at the time, back in the 70s, especially in New York City with Death Wish. and definitely was set in New York. And also, just like with the rivalry with Stallone and Schwarzenegger, there was actually a rivalry between Clint Eastwood and Charles Bronson at that time. They were, like I said before, they were like the first original action heroes. They were one of the first two guys who helped put the action genre on the map. So there was like this rivalry between those two guys, just like Stallone and Schwarzenegger. But most importantly, Dirty Harry also created another character, badass cop who didn't play by the rules, which of course all of you know well. Cobra. Sylvester Stallone. And I'm sure you can see that because the two actors who were in the first Dirty Harry were actually in Cobra. Like the killer in Dirty Harry, who played the guy who played the Scorpio killer, Andrew Robinson, and Dirty Harry's first partner, Detective Garcia, played by Rene Zentino. I can hardly say his name. Was also in Cobra, and he also played Cobra's partner. And another hint was the movie Cobra was actually produced by Warner Brothers, who also produced the Dirty Harry films. And you can see that. Cobra was like Dirty Harry, but with a bad attitude. But one of the most important things, cool things about Dirty Harry was that there was more to him than just detective instincts and cool toughness. He also showed the hero how to carry a cool, badass weapon, a badass gun. I'm sure you know. You're familiar with that weapon. With that gun. I'm sure you're familiar with that. And another thing about Dirty Harry was he's like the king of catchphrases when it comes to action heroes. He's like the master of catchphrases. Like to say something to the bad guy before you blow the bad guy away. Long before Schwarzenegger, of course, with Terminator and I'll be back. And actually, Arnold Schwarzenegger would idolized Clint Eastwood and Dirty Harry. Dirty Harry and Clint Eastwood is actually Schwarzenegger's #1 idol. So if it wasn't for Dirty Harry, we wouldn't have Schwarzenegger. So like going back to the catchphrases, Dirty Harry was like the master of catchphrases. And here's a little example.